What's going on out there, humans? Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where you at in the world. Welcome to another episode of the Humans with Brains podcast. I'm your host, Opulent Six, and these are my co-hosts, Leah, Nika, and Jennifer.
Hey.
As always, this is a dummy-free zone, so don't get over here saying no stupid shit. All right, Leah, you got any right?
Yes.
It's not why do you always get excited with her?
Because she pretends like she doesn't have it, and then
that's part of the anticipation making us
going
wait.
in, and I'm like, oh,
Okay, it's not really like a gripe. I don't even know if this is a gripe or like a hot take in a way.
wait, no, it has to be a gripe.
Okay, then
Hot
maybe.
take after
I
the
thought
gripes.
hot take come after.
I feel like sometimes when certain women make it a point to complain about getting catcalled or they're ignoring men or whatever, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but it's kind of just like, congratulations, you have a coochie.
Mhm.
Like, you're not the exception to the rule just because these guys are catcalling you or they're bothering you or they're trying to talk to you or whatever the case may be. I just feel like it's like this weird flex that like, or just sometimes I be feeling like girls just want to complain for the hell of complaining because it's like, ma'am, you have a coochie. Yes, they're going to try to holla at you and you're not going to be having the same complaint when you're 75 years old.
Dang. Yeah, that's a gripe for sure.
So that's why I said I don't know if it's a hot take or whatever because I could get, you know what I'm saying? I could get backlash on this and some women are just like, no, I just hate it when guys are trying to talk to me. It's annoying. Like, yeah, I could say the same thing. I was at Marshall's minding my freaking business and some guy asked me if I can read a serum bottle because it had Chinese writing on it and he thought I was Chinese. I could have easily taken that as, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's trying to holla at me. Like, some girls take those little things as if like
That's
people are
great.
trying to holla at them. So what I'm saying is, like, I'm not saying appreciate every man that's trying to catcall you, but sometimes I feel like they're just complaining so they have something to complain about because men will holla at anything. I grew up in Jersey City, New Jersey, and when I was old enough to work, I was, commuting to New York. And you guys know how aggressive New Yorkers are. It'd be like, hey, yo, ma, let me holla at you. Then you don't want to talk to them. Man, fuck you was ugly anyway. I got called an ugly Chinese bitch because I didn't want to talk to him. So that's what I mean. Like, so yeah.
Relax a little bit. Like,
Yeah, so it's kind of one of those, like, it's just like, it's okay. You got catcalled. Like, who cares? Moving on. Next
a good
topic.
one.
Yeah.
What about you?
It's
Right.
me. Again, I'm not sure if it's a gripe or a hot topic.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, gripe, only gripes. So
Okay.
tell me if it's not a gripe.
Okay.
But I feel like we underappreciate men a lot. And if we underappreciate the man, then that to me signals that you're not around the right men. Because every man that I'm around is a hardworking person. My brother, my best friend, my father, my boyfriend. My boyfriend should have came first because no one works harder than him. I feel like men work so hard, and women that complain a lot about men in the male species, they're just not around the right men because I always seem to find myself surrounded by men that work hard, they take care of their business, their families, whatever they have to do. And I feel like men are underappreciated because the wrongdoing or whoever's doing women wrong get more attention than the men that do right. And I feel like Chris Rock said it a long time ago. Like, you'll be lucky to get the big piece of chicken. So me personally, my PSA as well is like, if you have a man in your life that's doing his best, find out what he likes and do more for him and show him that you're more appreciated because as women, yes, we do have a huge role, but men are the backbone of all the hard work I personally don't want to do. Like, if the water starts backing up into your house and your house is flooded, you're not about to go figure out how to clear the pipes. If something's going on in your house, generally, unless you're a single woman or dating someone who's of a different mindset than you, I would say for the most part, men, especially in my life, I grew up, men did all the hard work. And so like, I just want to personally say like, stop complaining about men and find yourself or figure out how to get into a circle of men that work hard, because that's all I personally see.
That's a good piece of gripe. I agree with most of what you said. Yeah, men should be celebrated just
Yeah.
as loudly and proudly as they bashed. If you have a man or a brother or somebody that's good to you in your life right now, do a little something extra for them just
Yeah.
because. And
Men are actually quite simple. They might just want their favorite meal. Like my boyfriend's favorite meal is salmon tacos. So guess what I made last night? Salmon tacos, because he did a lot of stuff around the house. He's always doing stuff around the house. He's tired. And while men don't like to complain, they want to be appreciated for what they do. And again, if you're not in a circle of men that are doing anything, I would do a self-assessment, because all I see is men working hard.
that's on that.
What about you? You
What
got a
hot
gripe?
take? Oh, I don't have no gripe.
Oh, okay.
Hot take.
Let me see what I got for you guys. Burnout isn't proof of hard work. It's proof of bad systems.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a very good. I tend to agree. I think, if I may, you look like you're in thought, so I don't want to cut you off if you had something.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was waiting for you guys.
Okay. No, I totally get that, because I feel like you can do a lot of work and it doesn't mean anything because it wasn't in the right direction. It just made it's. I think there was a saying about, like, there's a difference between being busy and being, like, actually productive. Yeah. So I could see where that's a good one.
Yeah. What do you think?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I concur.
Yeah.
I never thought about it like that, but with the little time I did have to ruminate on it, it feels good to the spirit. That's a good one. I think I just learned something.
Mm.
Do you feel like you've had moments that you felt burnt out?
Yeah.
It's always emotional to me. Like, I think physically, yes, like you feel it, but it always, to me, I could be wrong, but it seems like it always happens emotionally first.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're always emotionally there before your physicality kind of catches up to you, and you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, I knew I was tired and now my body hurts, or I knew I
Yeah.
was, doing too much and now I can't move. Like, my neck, my back, something hurts because I was overexerting myself by trying to mentally force something or mentally make something happen. And then the body just kind of follows that.
Because you're doing too much.
Yeah.
And that's why I laugh, because I'm like, yeah, I've been there. And what I learned, the lesson in that was two things. One, givers got to set limits because takers don't have any.
Mm-hmm.
And two, give the extra, keep the necessary. Because a lot of times givers and people with kind heart, we do, but no one's pouring back into us. But we're still trying to do everything for everyone and still, make sure that we take care of our promises, take care of other people, be there. And then we're losing pieces of us in that. And then we begin to feel overwhelmed and look around, and then you generalize, nobody's here for me, right? Because you become emotionally depleted and emotionally inebriated. So I learned to give the extra, keep the necessary. So when I'm doing for somebody, whether it could be a conversation or helping them move or anything, it has to be what's extra. It got to be, I have extra energy. It got to be, I have extra time. I'm giving the extra, not the necessary. I'm keeping the necessary for myself so that I can operate on a high frequency and be productive and efficient in everything I do. You can have what's left over.
Mm-hmm.
You need it, you can have what's left over. So give the extra, keep the necessary. And that's what I've learned.
I think there was a time that I was like so tired from like work. This was like years ago. And like, I would say when the burnout hit, I felt like a toddler that was so tired and I just started crying. You know how like the toddlers that are tired and they start crying because they need a nap? Like that's how I felt. But as an adult, I felt that way. And then it went into this rabbit hole of, this is when I just first moved out here. And I was just like, what am I doing with my life? I didn't move out here to do this and blah, blah, blah. Like, what is going on right now? And then I went to sleep. And then I woke up feeling better. I was burnt out.
Yeah.
Like, and then, right before I went to sleep, I'm like, you're either just be happy. You're either tired, but you got money, or you want to be what? Well rested and broke. Like, it was just this whole like,
well rested and broke. Is
yeah, like it was like a conversation in my head, and then it went into a whole slew of things. Like, but yeah, and then I went to sleep.
Sometimes sleep is not
it's necessary.
Yeah, I definitely use sleep sometimes, probably more than I should.
I need to start.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when my mind is running, it's like.
Well, you can always meditate if you can't sleep. Meditation is great for like clearing the mind and like resetting.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just do it. It could be the middle of the day. I'm like, you know what? I need a break. Like where I used to work had a meditation room. And so
nice.
Sometimes like midday, I would just go in there and be like, you know what? I just need 10 minutes. And one time I did so good, I was floating.
Do you do guided or you just?
No, not guided. Because I like to let my mind do whatever it wants to do. That's a moment to just let it do what it needs to do. And I think that's a good self-assessment of like what's on your mind, let it off.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a difference between what you might think and what might be like a pop-up thought versus like, okay, what am I going to execute on? So it lets me kind of assess like, okay, I might have thought something. I was a little different or a little dark, but like, what are you actually going to do? Like, I'm not going to hit my boss with a bus. Or hope that for some reason he or she didn't show up to work today because they got hit by a bus.
Damn.
Or they called in sick.
Right.
You ain't never hated your job unless you like hoped your boss would call in sick. And then when they did, it was like, yay. Like I never wanted to be that type of boss. I was like, if I ever like managed people, like I've always cross-functionally managed people, but if I literally had a direct report, like I don't want my employees to hate me.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't know why people are comfortable with that. Like knowing like you're the source of the problem, but you just refuse to fix it. So.
I don't know. I think like something about authority gives them that.
Yeah. And it's like,
know.
you have 3 people, relax. So
right.
You're not running the company. Relax.
I know.
But some people thrive on it. I personally don't. Again, like I used to be a people pleaser. So like people liking me and sugarcoating and stuff like that was a huge deal for me.
Yeah.
But I think people have to respect you. Yes. They don't have to hate you though.
Yeah.
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 Especially when people are under your tutelage. Like I would, as a manager, want to see people grow and do better.
Yeah.
And some people just don't care. I don't get, why are you in management?
Right.
You're only making 10,000 more than me. Relax.
And you're just a number at the end of the day.
Everyone is.
Yeah. So it's just like, even as a manager, if they feel like you're not doing well, they'll just be like, all right, next.
They'll get rid of you and figure out how.
And like you said, they only get paid 10 bands more.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
they
not
want to
that
cut down
much.
on the 10 bands.
You would be
now
surprised that your manager only makes $2 more than you.
But it's that title.
Yeah.
Put the S, and it puts an S on their chest.
So I try to meditate to get those things off my chest and just be like, you know what, that really upset me. But I know the difference between something that upsets me that requires action and things that just like, I like to assess why something makes me feel a specific way. So I like to meditate in those moments.
I need to get better at meditating. I do guided for now.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. I mean, I think we all have this idea what meditation is supposed to be. And I trust my mind. I trust where it goes. And my mind is a safe space. So when I meditate, I don't worry about it. And then I go, oh, I want to bring myself back to this. So it's a conscious effort sometimes to say like, okay, I'm drifting a little bit. Let me come back here. I don't invalidate any of my thoughts because they're all real. I'm thinking them. It doesn't mean I need to take action. When I say real, I mean, I thought it, right? But that doesn't mean it requires action. And I think knowing that difference helps you not go crazy and like, oh, I'm meditating. I'm not supposed to be thinking about burgers. I'm not supposed to be thinking about my ex. Like, yeah, you can. Like, I really, we talked about dopamine menus last time. And I actually meant to tell you, but I didn't have time. But like, for some reason, out of nowhere, TikTok decided that my ex needed to be in my feed. My ex is not in my, like, contacts. I haven't talked to this person in over 2 years. It's like so random. And I'm just sitting here like, wow, okay. Social media is messy. And things that went through my body felt like it wasn't anger anymore, which I was glad. But it was also like, oh, okay, that's information. So when I meditated, I'm like, why would this person come up after 2 years? Like, this is kind of bothering me. But I allowed that to happen and float through me and just say, hey, it is what it is. I don't know why. And it doesn't matter. I know that that's something that's in the past. I know that's something that I experienced. Was it real? Yes. Were you upset at some point? Yes. Are you upset now? Actually, not really. But I can honor what went through my body at the time. And I think sometimes we combat that. Like, we're not supposed to. Like, oh my God, you're a bad person. Like, why would you do that? Like, I'm with someone else. Like, I'm not supposed to da-da-da-da. But like, the body remembers. It's biology. It's in there. It doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means you're functioning as designed. But your awareness, your higher self, knows what to do with that information. So I try to go to that realm.
What?
I didn't say nothing.
You didn't, but
I thought she was about to talk, so I just
No, I just like it's
no. I just meant, like, did you have any thoughts?
No, I concur.
because it just added to, like, I've been taking a lot of things that Jen has been saying, even in our private conversations, and then like I keep it back there, because it's been really helpful.
Aww.
On top of like other things that I'm reading, speaking with my therapist and stuff.
I love therapy.
It's actually nice, and it's been very conducive towards my healing, like shifting some of my perspective into what you have.
It's a lot about what you think, right?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot of that, and a lot of just basically just letting them.
Yeah.
Anything that's basically, just in simplest terms, like anything that's beyond your control.
Yeah. Speaking of which, like, our topic today is like how to navigate breakups and friendships, or like, what does that like feel like? I have some stories. Do you have one? Or
I feel like those are like worse than relationship breakups sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
I'll go last.
Does that mean you go first?
No, you can go first.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I had a friend since high school. And like, when I say we did everything together, we did. And in our adult life, we always, like, even if things drifted apart, we would see each other like, hey, let's have brunch. Let's do whatever. At some point, I don't know how I disappointed this person, but I disappointed her. I'm still not sure what it was because it was never verbalized to me. But at some point, I was kind of just cut off. And I was like, okay. I didn't push it because that's not in my nature. I never really do. But I did send a message, and I was like, hey, I know you're whatever, going through this, going through that. Like, I'm here if you ever want to like have a conversation about whatever you're feeling. I'm not sure what's going on, but something's off. And, you know, her response at the time was like, I'm going through this. I don't really have space for that. And that is the last time I talked to this person. And that really hurt.
Yeah.
It hurt because it almost hurts because you're not sure why. It's like, okay, I'm not sure exactly what. I can only surmise certain things of what I think it is, but that's projection. That's without the person like telling you exactly what. I don't have any idea. But I started to feel things, and I felt like it was kind of messed up that this person would be like, oh, you're not in my wedding, but some random friend is, but that has nothing to do with like our friendship. And I'm sitting here one day, like, I over-medicated myself. It was on accident. I think because I was so distraught in what was going on, I accidentally doubled my dose. So anyway, I got to this point, but when I realized that like I was over-medicated, like I really was able to like cry and like really be like, that actually really hurt me that I wasn't in this person's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I had known them since I was like 12 years old, and we've been through so much together.
Mm-hmm.
And I really thought this was like my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Was
realized
you invited to the wedding?
I was at the wedding. I just wasn't in it. And this person had their sister in the wedding. They hate their sister. Like, hate is I'm not even like.
That's still, they blood is thicker than mud.
Yeah, but it was a disaster. The person in the wedding messed things up, like tried to sleep with some of the groomsmen.
Oh.
Like, it was a mess. Like, what they thought the sister would do to ruin the situation and make it about them, they did, which I would never do. But here's the thing. It hurt my feelings. I cried. I don't think anyone to this day even knows, because I never talked about it. I never tried to like validate myself through telling other people. But I'm just saying that felt like a real breakup, because that was my homie.
And she never like,
Not once.
she just faded to black, basically.
Never. I was like, oh my God, they had a child. I sent presents. I was at the baby shower.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, nothing. Even at the baby shower, it was weird. At the wedding, it started to be weird.
Yeah.
So imagine they got married
Mm-hmm.
long enough to get pregnant, long enough to have a baby. So the last thing I did was send them a gift and say, hey, I know you're going through some stuff, but like I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Silence. We're talking pre-COVID.
Mm.
So I just was like, okay. And I'm the type of person, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to bang on your door, show up and force a conversation, force
Yeah.
anything. Like it's a two-way street. You want to talk to me? I'm here to talk.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that actually literally broke my heart. Like the way I cried that day was like the most release I ever had. And then I cried because I realized I was rectified by a way better friendship, a way better situation, in a wedding that I actually was in and was named the godmother of someone I do love and care about. I was rectified through an actual real relationship where I could be myself, where I could say like, hey, like this person can correct me. I can correct that person. I can say things. I know timing. I know mood. I know like it's an adult actual relationship.
Yeah.
And I think I had to leave that relationship where it was, but I may not have appreciated it as much
Mm-hmm.
if I didn't understand, like for someone to actually choose you based on who you actually were and still say, hey, I think you're worthy of that. Even though I thought that myself,
Yeah.
if someone doesn't think it, it's like, it's hard to be like, you know what, that's okay.
Yeah.
And I've had other friends and I had to think to myself, like, was I a bad friend? Because I've had three. I've had three people decide they don't want to be my friend anymore.
Mm.
Maybe I wasn't a good friend and I'm okay with that.
I actually have like a similar story with somebody
Mm.
just kind of like fading out, and
It's hurtful.
this person and to me, like me personally, it goes to show, because I would rather have an argument with you as a friend
Mm-hmm.
before, because to me, I take it as if you're not even trying to have this debate with me, you're not even trying to have a disagreement or for us to come down to a middle ground, like you don't value us. You don't value, I'm okay with uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
But like this person, when I first moved out here, she also just moved out here. And then we both got hired at the same job at the same time. And then we kind of just became like two peas in a pod. Like we were hanging out all the time, and then to the moment that I met the guy that I was dating for like 4 years, every time he's like, oh, bring a friend, bring this person, even brought her to, to the gym, the whole nine, whatever. And I guess like at some point, like I pride myself in being an amazing friend. Yeah, I could be annoying. You guys know that. But at the same time, like I'm still a good person. You know what I mean? So it's just like, if there is something bothering you about me, we can have this conversation. Like we can, but everybody handles things differently. So I would say at some point, and this is me just analyzing it because I don't know why this person just decided to kind of start like repelling or whatever. It just led me to believe like, hey, maybe I was becoming the exhausting friend where I looked at this person as a safe space where like I can just pick up the phone, I can call you, I can vent, I can rant. Like in my mind, automatically, I just thought this person had that space for me because I was projecting in a way where I will always have space for my friends. Like it doesn't matter if I'm busy, I'll make time kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So then at some point, this person was just fading to black. I did the same thing. Like I was reaching out like, hey, is everything okay? And you know that things are a little bit different when they're texting you back and sounds like your text, the text you got is from HR. Like, it's like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm having a wonderful day. And yeah, I'm just going through a lot right now or whatever. And it's a crock of shit. So at some point, it was just, to this day, I don't know this person's side of the story. But for me, it's kind of one of those where it's just like, if I was being an exhausting friend at that point, it would have been nice if this person said something. Because I don't keep tabs on what I do for friends.
Yeah.
But
that'd be weird.
Yeah, but I just feel like when I did get to a point where, people will take you there, right? And Six says it's okay to audit people. So then I started auditing things and I was just like, I've showed up and I've done a little bit more for this person than it was the other way around. Mm. And then to me, I don't know what her gripe was or whatever the case may be for her to just repel. it was just, it was very hurtful, right? And then at some point I was kind of just like, whatever, like, I wish you well kind of thing. But it was still kind of awkward in the gym because it was like, she started going to that gym because I introduced her, right? And then now things were getting a little messy. I was hearing from a little birdie that she was making it a point to make sure that the days that she's scheduled to go there, those are the days that I'm not going. So to me, it's kind of just like, what was really the problem? You know what I mean? Like, if I did do something to hurt you, like, I wish that you would have said something. Yeah. But then once I grieved that and I went past that, then it's kind of similar to you. It opened the door for me to have now that friendship, that sisterhood with Val. Like, me and this girl will be at each other's throats but we would argue about the dumbest shit. Like, we would argue about a chair and like, no, it's not made of it. Like, you know what I mean? Or there are times it's been heated. But because we view each other as sisters, we have like a max time of like, if we don't want to talk to each other, it's 3 days. After that, boom, we're back to normal. So I feel like I had to go through that friendship breakup with this person for me to really like have this blessing of having Val now in my life. And she's family. And she's exactly what I would want in any of my friendships. I'm cool with uncomfortable conversations. I'm cool with all of that because to me, it just goes to show we value one another. Because we're not going to get along all the time. Right. But like when we actually have some type of friction, if you're open to just hashing it out. So yeah, it's similar to that. And I wish this person well, you know what I mean? But to this very day, I don't know what the issue is. I don't know what I did wrong. And like I said, I could have been an exhausting friend. Who the hell knows?
Well, because you don't know, you just have to.
Yeah, I'm just like assuming.
Because I don't know what it is. Like my friend was going through depression and I would go to her house and sit with her all the time. I brought her food. We would just sit there and watch movies. And I'd be like, hey, if you want, like, we can do more things. And like maybe at that time she was just like, no, I still don't know. And I have to be okay with that.
Listen, I remember when I had gotten invited by my ex to go to Vegas, go to like these fights and whatever. And he would give me money to go shopping. Like I wasn't a hole. Like while I was going shop, I spotted this girl money. Like I didn't want her to feel like she wasted her time coming with me or whatever.
Just to watch you shop.
Yeah. Like I'm not that person. Or like, there was an opportunity for me to get on MTV and like the casting director came to me directly and I told her about it. And this is why they say you're supposed to secure the bag before you try to help other people. You know what I mean? Because the opportunity came and it happened for her. And like I said, I wish this person well, but to this very day, I don't know what happened. And also keep in mind, I'm very indifferent about it. The only reason why I'm speaking on it is because this is the topic.
Yeah.
And I don't really have that many friendship breakups like back home in Jersey. Like all of my friends were locked in like 15, 20 years in. So, and that to me, that's what makes me realize like I am a solid friend because I can hold down that long of a friendship. 15, 20 years, that's a lot of growth and a lot of, you know what I mean?
It's the common denominator, not necessarily like an off situation.
Yeah.
That's why I said, I can't lie. I've had at least 3 friends stop talking to me. So maybe it's just me and I don't know what it is.
Damn, no way.
It was 3. Yeah. It's okay though.
And they just never said anything?
I can only think, like one time I think it was because I got my hair done by somebody else.
What?
Oh, yeah, because she was a stylist, but like I've known her since I was 7.
But it's never that deep.
Exactly. So until someone tells me, I can only surmise.
Right. What about you, 6?
Are you mad I got my hair done by somebody else?
Damn.
Not the yawn and the stretch. Was we talking too long?
You know I'm an old man.
Oh. Yeah, you're about to be what, like 50 in October?
She said you're about to be on andropause.
I hope his Instagram starts popping with some O's.
Just go on his phone.
Whatever they want on the feed. It don't affect me. If I don't need it, I'm not like, oh, why you keep sending? I don't need it. Like I don't care. Like it does nothing to my nervous system.
Good.
Like
yeah,
put whatever on my like it does nothing. I'm indifferent. But
I really have to charge my car. I need to stop
friendships can end and give you the same emotional disarray as a romantic relationship. As Leah already said that. I agree. And sometimes friendships can end and it could be the best thing that happened to your life. It can extricate you from being involved in toxic inertia and on a treadmill of failure, right? The last person that I've ever, I guess you could say, have a falling out with, because I end friendships all the time. Like probably just this year, maybe 30. Just this year.
Damn.
Like, yeah.
Damn.
Like,
30 friends?
yeah. Like,
Damn.
when you no longer fit into who I am, it's time for me to go. I'm not sending an email, a text, or HR. There's no huddle. I just stop talking to you. I fade away.
Oh, so
Like,
you're
if
the
you
friend
even-
we're worried about. Like, not
Yeah.
worried about. We're the friend. You're the friend we
Absolutely.
experience.
Absolutely. That's who I am.
And
Like,
why do you think that you do it that way?
why do, because I'm
'Cause you
doing,
should know
I'm
what you
doing,
did?
I'm doing, yes. If you don't know what you did, that therein lies the problem. We don't even need to talk, because some people like to play stupid. Some people like to meander and obfuscate, and some people are already committed to misunderstanding you. I'm not finna sit here.
I was going to say I slightly disagree.
What if you're willing to grow
No,
from
I
it?
slightly disagree with him saying sometimes he just fades, because I would say, I'm going to use us as an example. When there was a time that it was kind of like off or whatever, I remember I called you, and remember you told me, you were like, you appreciated that, and from then on out, like, our friendship and our relationship like has gotten better. Remember when we were on the phone, and then I was like, listen, Six, I hope that you receive this, in a way where it lands correctly. I know how you are and what he's saying right now, and I don't mean to interrupt because I know you're gonna go in, how you pride yourself into being that friend that you and I talk about. So then I expressed to him my thoughts, how I felt about stuff, and Six
Y'all figured it out.
was silent, listened, and he was like, okay, I understand, so on and so on. So technically,
But to his point, he didn't send you an HR alert about everything you did wrong, which is what.
But
he
when
was
did I
saying.
cut her off? She talking about, no, I've never cut you off.
Yeah, he never cut
So
you
what?
off.
I don't even know
I'm
what
saying-
I don't even know what
No,
you're
he's talking about cutting off.
but
Well, you mean, ain't that what I just said?
Yeah.
I don't.
He's
I'm
talking
confused
about deading friendships.
now. I'm
No.
confused. I got confused.
Well,
I'm
she was
sorry.
saying that you're willing to salvage a relationship that you
When
care
did
about.
I say I wasn't
Yeah,
willing? I
I
said
think.
I
I'm
would
sorry, I
cut
didn't mean to put
people
words
off
in your
without
mouth.
a notice.
Yeah, I didn't mean to put
So-
words in your mouth. Yeah.
That's what I said, and I never cut you off. So I don't even know what you talk. I've never cut you off. If I cut you off, you wouldn't be here. You'd be cut off.
okay, never mind.
Maybe it didn't fit. I'm just, yeah. Oh, she
You can
thought
feel
she
like
was
you
gonna
about to
get
get
cut
anything.
off.
I'm not in control of what you feel.
True.
That's between you and God. How that got to do with me on how you feel? Yeah, but I'm saying like that. So then that lets you know that she
Thank
was
you, Reggie.
grossly wrong, and she
Which is good, 'cause
but
we're
no,
good.
that also means that you've been secretly projecting. That's a projection.
I was
Wait,
trying to
wait,
make this in a
pause.
positive thing, but okay,
Pause, but
go off.
that's a projection. I
was-
never cut you off. I never even said I cut you off. But to say no, you don't cut people off because you worked it out with me. I never told you I had a problem with you. This is you projecting.
Why are
I've
you
never sat
mad?
down and said that. I already said in the last episode, don't confuse my fervor with passion.
I know,
So
and I
again,
was
again,
kind of trying to give you basically like, I wasn't even saying you don't cut people. I'm not telling you what your process
But that
like,
is
I
what
was-
you said. When we rewind the tape, you're gonna say you say that's not true. When you say that's not true, that's saying that's what you don't do. You literally start off with that's not true because.
Well, then you
and
know
I'm
what?
like, me
Maybe I
and you,
should have
I've
just
never
said that
cut-
that wasn't true in terms of like, because you know what? Sometimes you do come off like you're extremely cutthroat. So I was just trying to say
I
it in a
am.
way. Okay, so you know what? I digress. Go on. Because I was just trying to say like, in a way, it's like you can make people feel like you were about to cut them off. So you can say it was a freaking projection, but when the energy is weird, it's just weird. So what I'm saying is there was a point in time where the energy did feel weird.
We're
And it
not-
also had something to do with a certain person lingering around that I did say something about just now, right? So then at some point I did decide to give you a phone call because I just felt like, yo, like shit is
Can
whatever.
I stop you? Because I let you talk uninterrupted for a long time.
No, I know. I just felt like you were just yelling at me, and I'm
Can I
trying to
talk
be
without
like,
yelling.
yeah, go on.
Okay, thank you. I was indifferent towards you. I never cut you off. Everything you said, like I said, you've been projecting. I never told you I'm cutting you off. I never said this is all the things that came from your own brain. I never said anything about that. In the situation you're speaking about, I never even brought the situation up. Never again. You did all that. You're sitting up here talking about how I make someone feel, and you're changing the narrative. I'm talking about when I cut someone off, they're cut off. You're talking about how you feel, but how do you feel got to do with what I do? So you're using that, like you said, that's not true, because I never had an issue with you to the fact where I'm going to cut you off.
Okay, well, I'm going to dead it because I was just trying to give you flowers in a sense of like, I appreciate.
Them flowers ain't for me, because that's not the case. I never had an issue with you. You're projecting.
Okay, so never mind my appreciation for actually being a good friend and having an uncomfortable conversation.
However you want to frame it. That was you having an uncomfortable conversation.
You're on one today.
But that was you. What do you having an uncomfortable conversation got to do with my story? You interjected yourself in my story and then proceeded to interrupt my story.
You
and give me flowers.
With stuff with me all the time. I don't yell at you.
I'm not yelling at you. Raising your voice ain't yelling. Now you're playing victim.
I'm not. I'm just saying. Like,
what I'm saying is this is all you projecting. Everything you just said, you didn't name one fact. You talked about how you felt.
Okay.
You didn't never say you did this 6, you did that 6, and then you did this. You're talking about how you feel. That's your guilt. Your guilt don't have anything to do with me. And I turned to you and said,
what guilt are you
I never cut
about?
You off. I never even told you I cut you. If I did, you wouldn't be sitting here.
Well, you know what? I was going to go in and try to give an example about something, but clearly we went all the way left. It's okay. Sorry to interrupt your story.
You don't have to keep apologizing. It's been noted. But you're projecting.
You're on one today.
No, because I won't sit up here and let you project because you don't want to be corrected. And if you be corrected,
I'm not trying to be corrected. It wasn't even in that connotation.
I don't care if it's wrong. It's wrong, and I don't care if you're putting a bow on it. I'm not going to let you wrap up a lie. I don't care.
What the hell are you talking about?
I never tried to cut you off, and this is the basis of your whole story.
I'm not saying you were trying to.
Leah, we're going to rewind the tape, and you're going to see you said it right there.
Oh my God, yo, this is crazy.
It's crazy, but you interrupted me, Leah. And you're playing victim. I was not even talking about you.
No one's playing victim. I just apologize for
you don't have
interrupting.
To keep apologizing. The best apology is change behavior.
Cool.
So quit interrupting me, and then I know you're truly sorry. But you haven't let me speak uninterrupted yet. So if you're really sorry, change your behavior. Don't interrupt me and let me get a full thought out, because you keep doing that. And when we go back and watch it, you'll see you keep doing that. Now, if I may, those are your thoughts, your feelings. I never said anything to the sort. Even when you told your story, you told it from a standpoint on how you feel. You never said anything that I actually did. And I told you, yeah, you could have felt that way. Jen said, well, he probably was about to. And you said, yeah, you could feel it. Feel it, don't feel it. I never cut you off. So I am not going to let you run with that narrative. You try to say you cutthroat. I am cutthroat. And you use that to say, well, you didn't cut me off. You worked it out with me. That's because I wanted to work it out with you. If I wanted to cut you off, you would have been cut off. I would have had you as a friend no more. So I'm trying to get you to understand that was all you. The danger was real, but the fear wasn't. You was never in danger of being cut off. I can be mad at you, and I can say, when we come onto this topic, I don't want to broach that topic with you without being cut off, without saying I'm going to cut her off. You did nothing to me to the fact where I'm like, I don't want her as a friend or a sister no more. That's something you've been running around with. I just said, we're not going to broach that topic. We're not going to be in that category no more, me and you, on that topic. But what happened didn't warrant me to be like, she can't be in my life anymore. Because if that was the case, you wouldn't be in my life anymore. So I'm trying to tell you, don't put yourself, now I'm doing a good thing, in the category with people that I feel is malignant and beneath me. I'm trying to help you. How you say you're trying to help me? I'm trying to help you say, don't put yourself over there. You was never in that category. Don't put yourself over there. And had you not interrupted me and let me land, you would have been able to hear that loud and clear without getting deeper into your feelings. You was never a part of that group of people. I never looked at you in that way. Because if I did, I just got to put you over there. I play things black and white. That's what helped me become successful, black and white. And what you did, I didn't put you over because it didn't warrant that. You're not a malignant person. You're not a selfish person. You're not an opportunist. And I can go on and on about those things, those traits that make me say, I'm cutting this person off without even saying anything. To me, I don't know what your friendship is with everybody else. I'm not involved in those friendships. But you've never displayed any of those qualities to me. I got to go off of my relationship with you. You ain't never been malignant to me. You ain't never displayed selfishness, opportunistic. You ain't never displayed that you was a snake in that way. Those are the things that get you cut off, amongst other things, right away without no words. You've never done that. You've never made me feel any of those things. So again, if I repel from a certain topic, which we don't have to get into the minutia, but I told you, if something happened, I'm gonna repel from that. Something happened, I repel from that. Me repelling from that don't mean I repel from you. You apologizing was your decision. That was you. And you said, what guilt? If you apologize, you obviously feel guilty or something. Because I never said Leah this or Leah that, Leah that.
But I was sorry for interrupting.
No. You talking about the apology when you called and said,
no,
I felt sorry.
I didn't call to say sorry day. I said I was trying to finish the story, but I really was trying to just say something about it. And you know what? Maybe I should have just portioned what I was trying to do here into what I appreciate when it comes to my friendships. I'm not going to sit here and you're right. I'm not going to, whatever, how you go about things, how you cut people off, cool. Like these are the people you cut off, X, Y, Z. Clearly, I'm not in that category. But I was actually just trying to show appreciation as to like where there was a time that it felt weird. It did feel weird. And whatever, you can't fight facts with feelings, whatever. But what I'm saying is, I was just trying to give the appreciation, but you, like you said, you don't want them flowers,
because
whatever. It's cool.
Cloaked in lies. You can't give me appreciation cloaked in a lie. I'm going to reject it fundamentally.
Like I said, I should have just mixed it in with what
I concur.
Oh my God. Okay.
I concur. I know because you've been cutting me off this whole time, and now you, oh my God, you don't want what you give other people sometimes, and that's annoying. Because you've been sitting here, we can go watch the last 5 episodes doing the same thing you accusing anybody else of doing. We could just sit and watch and write down. And we don't do that to you. But you do that because you're unaware of that you do it too. So I'm letting you, just because we don't say, hey, you do this too, Leah, you do that too, Leah, you always on your phone, Leah, just because we don't say it don't mean you don't do it. We're giving you grace, and it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Now, I can't tell you what to make a big deal or not to make a big deal. That's your own personal thing. But what I'm saying is just be aware you do it too. Before you fly off the handle, just go, do I do this too? Because if you're going to do it too, don't complain. If you're going to complain, don't do it too. But you, oh my God, because I cut you off. But you've been cutting me off 10 minutes. And you sat here and told your friendship story and no one interrupts you.
I think it's
but
just
I didn't get that same respect.
You're not getting like, I'm not coming from a place of like negativity and how I'm receiving your tone right now. And I'm not playing victim. It's just, it's aggressive. That's it. Because I wasn't coming from a place of, oh, let me just spew out a little lies or whatever it is that you're saying. I was actually trying to say how much I appreciate that I can have an uncomfortable conversation with you. But instead, now I feel like I'm being talked at. Now I feel like I'm being reprimanded. And it's like, that's not what I was trying to do. I was really just trying to let you know how much I appreciate you. So sorry again for cutting you off, just to show you and tell you how I appreciate the uncomfortable conversation that I once had with you, because I thought that our friendship was at like, it was going to be at a weird space. That was it. That was beautifully articulated. That's much better than you saying, no, that's not true. Let me tell you why that's not true. Because what you said just now is valid. What you just, and the way you framed it is valid.
But more importantly, the way you just framed that does not invalidate my statement. Your initial statement, when you encroached on my story, invalidated everything I said previously. That's what caused the problem. If you don't know, you invalidated me with something that wasn't true because of the way you framed it. You just framed that very differently. You can go back and watch the episode. Had you framed it like that, I would have responded differently. You can't be mad or surprised that I responded in the way I responded when you framed it the way you framed it. You didn't frame it like that when you first started. I had to respond to the way you framed it when you first did it. And now you're framing it like this. I said, that's facts. There was friction. I am that type of friend that will talk things out. I am that type of friend that will be like, all right, get yours off your chest. Let me get mine. Where's the middle ground? How can we both be comfortable? I am that type of friend. But I'm also the type of friend, if you do one of my no-nos, we won't have a conversation. We don't need a conversation. I'm going to do what's best for me, and I hope you do what's best for you. Those are the stories I wanted to talk about. I didn't even want to bring nothing we had in the mix. But that's proof that I have that balance. Because you was never you didn't do anything to get cut off. Like, you don't cut off good friends, in my opinion. Like, if you had a Maserati and the bumper had a dent in it, are you gonna look at your Maserati and go, I'm finna get a whole new car, I'm gonna go get a Lexus now, forget this Maserati? No, you fix the dent. You keep the Maserati, fix the dent, it's still the Maserati. If you and your friend, and that's a good friend, have friction, ain't seeing eye to eye, that's like having a dent in your bumper. Don't throw the whole friend away, don't throw the whole car away. It's still a Maserati. It's still a good friend. Fix the dent. But if the engine is gone and the transmission is gone,
that's the most expensive part.
And the brake calipers is shot, get rid of the car. Me and you had a dent in a bumper. I'm not getting rid of a Maserati for a dent.
That's a huge compliment, because he never told me I was a Maserati before.
Well, you are too. All my friends, but all my friends, I value my friendships. Everybody that know me know I value relationships and friendships more than anything else, more than all the possessions in the world. And I've got all the possessions I ever prayed for, but I value friendships. So when I have friction, as long as it ain't on that no-no list, we can talk about it. Clearly, there was a misunderstanding or a friction. No, choices made in me and Leah's situation. I made a statement, gave her a choice. She made her choice. And then the outcome was the outcome. That's a dent in the bumper. You're not going to get rid of, that don't mean that that's just, you can't throw away good people. And if you listen to every episode we have, now that me and her both calmed down, especially me, she has abandonment issues. And you hear her say, I felt like you was about to cut me. And that's why I said you was projecting on me. Because I was never about to cut you off. Her? Yeah.
The abandonment's hard for a lot.
It's hard for everybody. It was hard for me. But what I'm saying is that's proof she was projecting. She was never in danger of being cut off. Because my brain don't work like that. I'm not throwing away a good person because there's a dent in the bumper. We can talk about it.
So with the few minutes left, did you want to at least finish your story?
Nah, because I think what just happened here is more important.
Okay.
I think what just happened here is more important, especially the crux of the story, the parable. When there's a dent in the relationship and you feel your friend is a Maserati, a Rolls Royce. Now follow the analogy. You got a Rolls Royce with a dent in it. You don't get rid of the Rolls Royce and start riding around in a Lexus. You fix the dent in a Rolls Royce. If you have a good friend and y'all have some type of friction in a bumper, something minute, something that can be buffed out. Even a new bumper is cheaper than buying a whole nother car. So if it's something like that, you work that thing out. Because good people is hard to come by. That's why I said I cut people, because, hey, if we got any kind of association as I'm moving forward and I outed you and I go, yeah, they ain't do nothing malignant or malevolent, but this ain't cool moving forward and who I want to be, I just disappear. How you think I'm sitting on this couch? I ain't what I used to be. You think what I used to be, I called all the homies from the hood, put them in a group chat and was like, hey, y'all, I'm done with this hood shit. I ain't want to tell you, but when we was just shooting dice, nigga, that was the last time you was about to see me. No, I just disappeared. And I constantly do that. When you're not conducive to my future, but when you a good person and y'all see that me and Leah can be oil and water, but she's still a good friend.
If you shake that up, it makes good dressing with a little balsamic.
Yeah, you repurpose it. But she's still, so I want her to understand, but again, that's a different episode, but she got abandonment.
I've never had that
abandonment issue, so she felt that, because it wasn't necessary. I didn't have anything to talk about. I talked about everything I had to say ahead of time.
No, I just meant in general, like y'all were on two different pages about whatever happened.
Right, because we never talked about it. I told her ahead of time. You make your choice. When you make your choice, what's the conversation? You already know ahead of time. So if there was something she wanted to talk about, like she said, I reached out to you, then you talk. I didn't have anything to say. I said it ahead of time. Before said incident happened, I already said what I had to say. I'm not the type of man that like to repeat myself. I said it. You made your choice. What is there to talk about? There's nothing to talk about unless you want to talk about something. And when she was ready to talk, I was there ready to talk too.
But
because it's just a dent in the bumper.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but like I think in relationship, this is a good point to the whole thing, because my friend never said anything to me. Her friend never said anything to her.
Maybe you did something malignant.
Well, let me just get there a little bit. We're all sharing a certain common scenario where the friend didn't actually say anything to us, right? And so while you feel like in your stance you communicated something, I'm saying that like we're not always accustomed to knowing exactly what it is. So I think from like, let's say her standpoint or mine, we didn't see it that way, and I'm only making like a guess about like that situation. She just was like, the vibes were funny regardless of what you said. Whether she appropriated it properly or not, I think in her head it's like, okay, well, it could be this, it could be that. And to your point, it's like, well, you should know is that because I said it would be. But I think at the end of the day, sometimes it's like when you're emotional about friendship, sometimes it's harder to be pragmatic and logical because your emotions are there. So it's like, let me try to fix that emotional state. Let me try to do that. And you're like, no, from a practical standpoint, you know exactly what it is. But you're like, it's not just practical for me. It's emotional too.
You're right. But wouldn't that be your work that you need to do?
Of course.
All right. So the person that's on the other end of that's your work you need to do.
Yeah. But
that means you need to pause. You need to calm your spirit, calm your mind, and really think and get into the minutia of what you did or what was said. That don't mean project on someone else. That don't mean become frantic on someone else. That just mean, all right, let me recoil and let me think. Let me just think. Yeah. Paul, I just told one of my clients this morning, she frantic. Be still. Be still. I touched her head. Be still. Your spirit is all over. Be still like water. You soda, you shake it up. If I buy some soda, y'all, or about to buy some soda, I walk in 7-Eleven, I open up the freezer, I pick up a Coke, I shake it up, but then I'm like, you know what? I don't want it. If I put that Coke back down, close the freezer, and Leah walks in and be like, oh, Coke, and go buy it. She don't shake it, buy it. When she open it, it's gonna spill all over her. She ain't the one that shook it, but she the one that opened it. Sometimes we spilling all ourselves all over people who didn't even shake us. We're taking out on them. I never shook Leah.
That makes sense.
I never shook her.
But I think that what makes
So I tell people, be still. Be still as water. You can shake water, yell at it's water. Be still. Still, only then you reach a calm place where you're not erratic and you can make a good decision, whether it's about job, a relationship, a romantic relationship, or friendship. Every decision I make, even the people I cut off, I'm still.
I think that's what makes friendships like we have more valuable, because it hits you on the head and you're like, okay, I need to go back in and check that. Or you experience someone say, you know what, I need to go back in and check that. And I think that sometimes like having those conversations, whether or not the other friend thinks is necessary or not, sometimes can be helpful, or sometimes can be like, you know what, you're being a little emotional. I'm not there, because I've had that happen in my friendship too, where I'm just like, girl, I'm not even there.
But that's a good conversation can save a nation.
Yeah.
You people got to be able to, you got to come communicate what you need to say, right?
You got to learn.
Let's say, when I had a Range Rover, it could go up and down, lift it up, lift it down, lift it up, lift it down.
You mean like the shocks?
Yeah, I could ride high, I could ride low. My Porsche do it too. But this, for the purpose of the story, when I had the Range, I could ride high, I could ride low. But every time I would ride high, within months, I had problems with my shocks. Every time, $5,000, $3,000. I'm like, damn it.
I'm not doing it no more.
I'm not riding high. I didn't get rid of my Range Rover. I just took away that feature. I never got rid of you. I said, I'm gonna take away this feature right here. I'm not getting rid of my Range Rover. I'm just don't ride high. Just don't ride high.
Did you ever want to get rid of me? I know you did.
No.
Okay.
I knew the people who I love have never hurt me or infringed the. So the people out there listening that hope that they was gonna hear me talk about why I cut a story about cutting somebody off and was hoping maybe it would be their story so they can finally hear, because they never heard from me. You're not gonna get that satisfaction because the conversation derailed. But I will say this. For the ones that was hoping for that, you see what happened between me and Leah and how we was able to talk. The reason why we never had a conversation is because I did not deem you a Rolls Royce. Your engine blew, it was not worth the repair. And that means if we didn't have a conversation, that means I didn't cuss you out either. That means I didn't become an impediment to your success either. So I didn't hurt you, I didn't help you, I nothing you. I just nothing you, right? But to her point, friction, so don't think it was just our friction why I stopped. No. No. Your scruples, you fell below the basic minimum character line. Your character was flawed, and I'm not going to help you with that. That's not even my job. I'm never going to do Jesus' job. You got to go to God and get religious help with that character.
Wait a second. So it's safe to say that the people that cut me off didn't think I was worth salvaging.
No, they did not think you were worth salvaging.
Yeah.
I can't say all the other shit because that's just my personality. Yeah. But for sure, they wasn't worth salvaging.
Because they didn't even want to have a conversation.
They didn't even want to have a conversation.
Fair enough.
And I didn't want her to. I didn't want her to have to guess and wonder what happened to the hydraulic system. So I told her ahead of time, if you do A, then we're not using the hydraulic system no more. If I didn't care or love,
I wish I would
I wouldn't even say nothing.
I wish I had the warning.
But I let nice. Because I love her. Like, hey, you use a hydraulic system, it's gonna stop working. I said, hey, you do this, and this gonna be over here. I gave you a choice. She did what she felt was best for her.
Right.
So when somebody else do what they feel was best for them, why get mad? Yeah. If you did what's best for you and be like, I'll do what's best for me, and if I have to, I apologize later. Why do you get mad when someone else say, I'm gonna just do what's best for me, and if I gotta apologize later? We're all doing what's best for us.
Yeah.
But the people who do it, we talk about self-developing the most. The people who self-develop don't get mad at things like that because you understand, oh, he doing what's best. She did what's best for her. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I can't get mad at that. That's what she chose. That was her thing.
That becomes easier to accept with just acceptance in general. Like, but everybody does what they want to do to a degree.
Yeah, but you can't work on your acceptance until you work on your truth. Like, my truth is, I don't expect nothing from anyone really because my parents didn't give me the attention I want. They didn't pick me up when I was crying. But I don't like people to abandon me because I felt a parent abandoned me and not really there. And I felt like a burden to the parent. Those are your truths. When you get in there and you fix those truths, you're no longer looking at everything from those lenses, putting things on things that didn't happen. The danger is real, the fear wasn't. The danger is real, the fear wasn't. You take those lenses off. I had my own lenses I had to look through and was looking through the world and
that process hurts.
It do. Because I remember, even y'all know, to hear me talk about, I'm about to rap Ben in the streets. I realize why some people that's doing really well in life now, really well, y'all think I'm doing good, why we not friends no more and why they wouldn't invite me to certain stuff to get to the level that, like, yeah, I want that plug too. I realized, like, oh shit, through self-development, they couldn't help me because of the way I am. They didn't want me there. Look how I was belligerent. Look at I wasn't even amiable. They can't take me around these people and I'm like a gangster. And I'm like, but we homies, we grew up together. But he like, but I'm trying to be something else. And I'm like, but nah, man, why you ain't taking me? Man, he fake, he ain't taking me. But the whole time he like, I'm trying to escape the hood. Yeah, you my buddy. Yeah, you was there. Yeah, you rolled, you did some stuff for me. You shot some people for me, but I'm trying to if I even bring you here, I'll never get out because you don't know that you're ignorant. You don't know you have bad energy. You don't know you frown all the time. And if I tell you that, you're going to be like, that's just who I am. So I ain't going to have this conversation with you. I'm finna go to another part of the matrix. And if I ever see you again, you'll understand why I had to do that. Because there's people that cut me off when I was in my adolescence and that seriously. And I go, damn, and I feel bad. Like, I get it. I replay stories in my head like, oh shit. I did walk in and his phone was on his lap, in his hand. He saw me calling. They didn't want to open the door. Like I go back and then I got to go back and remember who I was and say, just because they was my friends, just because they put up with it, don't mean it wasn't arduous. Don't mean it wasn't taking a toll on them. Don't mean that they didn't want to go to another level and be like, he ain't ready. And I can go honestly say I wouldn't have even received it in the right way. And I understand that now through development. So I'm not saying like I'm the only one that does. People's done that to me, but I get it now because I've developed. I'm like, he couldn't have took me there. I would have ruined it. I would have made him look bad. Even though it ain't him, he could be on his best P's and Q's, but everybody else will go, damn, you're not who I thought you was because look who you hang with. We're judged by who we hang with. Let me say this before we close. Proximity is an energetic agreement that changes the shape of your possibilities. If you in proximity all your life with drug dealers and you need some money, at some point you might be like, look, show me how to do it. If you in proximity of people that stripping at some point and you be like, girl, just what club is so far away that nobody know who I am? If you in proximity of people who changing their life and breaking those shackles and extricating themselves from poverty, eventually you're going to extricate yourself from poverty because that's who you around. Proximity is an energetic agreement and it reshapes what's possible for you moving forward. If you around winners, people starting podcasts, people booking shows, it's going to happen to you. It changed your possibility. Because even if you had an idea to start a podcast, but never, had the courage, but you around people, now you like, so was it hard? Well, where do you record? Well, how much is it? Then you start to go, well, that ain't bad. But if you're around people doing nothing, you will do nothing too. That's why I'm careful with who I select as a friend. And that's why I guard my friendships real closely and I'm protective. And that's why I got angry at you. Like, no, don't put yourself over there ever. I would never do that to you. At least not now. You've never done you're a Rolls Royce with a dent or a Range Rover. I can't use them hydraulics for that because we see what happens when I use the hydraulics. I'm not giving them a Range Rover. But understand, guys, proximity is an energetic agreement. So be careful who you hang around. Because if you stand close enough to the fire, you're going to warm up. You're going to catch everything they have. So it was more important for y'all to see friction and how it's worked out than me tell a story of a bunch of people who I think is losers.
Damn.
Well, with that being said,
what's a good poll that you have in mind, Jen?
Do you have a conversation with your friend? If you have an issue, do you have that conversation or not?
No, better poll is to see who's right, not who's right or wrong, but here's a better poll. Is there anything your friend can do, or is there any explanation, good reason for just cutting somebody off with no explanation?
Yeah.
Is there any reason for that, or no? There's never no reason for that. They should always get that explanation and get that closure. Or is there something that someone can do where it's like, I'm not just no closure.
Right. Like
that a good poll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I cut people off, bro. You got to go. It's things people can do things that just don't sit right with my spirit. And I don't want to hear their apology.
Yeah.
I don't even think they salvageable. I don't even, your engine is gone. And you was a Lexus anyway. I'm not about to fix the engine of a Lexus. But I will fix the front bumper, the back bumper, a windshield, everything on a Rolls Royce. Right. Sit down, let's talk. This has been another episode of the Humans with Brains podcast. As always, if you have any comments, concerns, or disagreements, leave it in the comments. We appreciate that. We try not to edit and we try not to censor the comments. That's why they're so lit. Follow us on Instagram, X, TikTok, Facebook, and every social platform there is. You have just witnessed another episode of the Humans with Brains podcast. And as always, this is a dummy-free zone. So don't get over here saying no stupid shit.
Boy, I sure hope the dummies aren't listening.